guys, what's up? I am so excited about today's video. I just got my hands on the brand new E.L.F and Jkissa palette. This is the To the Rescue palette, and it just came out a few days ago. E.L.F was super quick with their shipping. I ordered it whenever it launched and it got here today, so it only took a few days to get here. So yeah, in today's video, I'm going to be trying out the eyeshadow palette. So before we get started, I would really appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also, I'm doing a huge giveaway right now. I'll have it linked in my description box below if you guys want to enter that. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so as I said, I'm going to be testing out the new E.L.F and Jkissa palette. This is the To the Rescue palette. This is a rainbow palette. It's such a gorgeous palette. I love the outer packaging. It's so cute. This is a limited edition palette, and the price of it is $20, which is pretty expensive for E.L.F, but you are getting an 18 pan eyeshadow palette. It has mattes and shimmer shades in here. So here is what the actual palette looks like. I love the packaging. I think it looks really sleek and modern. And then inside we have all of the gorgeous rainbow shades. All of these shades are named after rescue dogs, and it also comes with these super cute stickers that you can use to like decorate the outside of your palette. That's why it's like a pretty much white palette. So I thought that was a really cute touch that everyone can like customize their own palette. And it does have like letters and stuff, so you could like write your pet's name on there or your name. So yeah, I thought that was really cute. So since this is a rainbow palette, I think I'm gonna do two different looks on both of my eyes just because I want to use as many shades as possible. I cannot think of an E.L.F eyeshadow palette off the top of my head that I've tried. Honestly, I haven't tried that many E.L.F products before, surprisingly. So this is like my first E.L.F eyeshadow palette, I'm pretty sure. As soon as I saw the rainbow palette, I just had to get it. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this out. A huge congratulations to Jkissa for this collab. All right, so to prep my eyes, I'm going to be using my P. Louise base. I always use this every time I do like really colorful or intense eyeshadow looks. I feel like this really just helps your eyeshadow kind of pop. I know a lot of people ask like how to get your shadows to really show up really well on your eyes and have really good pigmentation, and a base like this is definitely going to help. It is tacky. I never set it. I like to just go in straight on top with eyeshadow, and I feel like it really just makes all of these shadows pop. Also, I never do my brows before eyeshadow because as you can see, I'm like blending this up onto my brows. So I always just like to do them after I do my eyeshadow. So now I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder and I'm going to put this underneath my eyes, and I always like to do this just in case there's any fallout because I do like to do my face makeup before my eyes. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and dip into the palette. Honestly, I don't know what kind of look I want to go for, but I do think I'm going to do like a warm toned eye and then a more cool toned eye. So I'm thinking I'm going to first go in with this shade right here, and this is like a deep emerald green, and this shade is called Tank, and I'm going to stamp this in my crease. I think I'm just going to kind of keep this shade on the outer corner. So this is applying really nicely. It has really good pigmentation. I feel like when I swatched these with my finger, they didn't look like the best, but I find that a lot of shadows don't look really good whenever you just like swatch them with your finger. It's really about how they perform on the eyes, and this shade so far is looking really good. All right, so now I'm gonna pick up this deep blue right here called Thatcher, and I'm just gonna put this a little bit on the outer part of that last shade, and then I do wanna blend this shade a little bit more into my crease. I'm just gonna bring it a little further over. So far, I'm really impressed with the pigmentation. These have gone on really nicely. So now I'm gonna pick up this like kind of bright electric blue shade right here called Cannoli. And I'm just gonna put this one a little higher. All right, so now I'm just gonna take some concealer and I'm gonna use this to cut my crease. So now that my crease is cut, I'm gonna take this super pretty sparkly blue shade right here called Bailey. And this shade really stood out for me when I first saw the palette. This is such a gorgeous shimmery blue. So this shade definitely has some fallout, but it's not too bad. It's just a little bit of the glitter kind of like fell down in my inner corner area. Now I'm gonna take the shade Reagan right here, which is like a sparkly green shade, and I'm gonna put this on the rest of my lid. I'm gonna switch from my finger to a brush to get right up at the top of where I cut my crease, just so it's a little bit more precise. The blue shimmery shade is definitely more like metallic looking than this shade. I feel like The blue one kind of almost has like little glitter flecks in it, whereas this one is just a regular kind of like shimmery shadow. It's not like a metallic. So now I'm just taking that outer corner shade that I first put down, and I'm just gonna blend it onto the lid, just so that that shimmery shade blends in with my outer corner. All right, so far so good. Those shadows blended really nicely. Now I'm just gonna wipe away the powder that was underneath my eyes so we can move on to the lower lash line. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the blues and greens that I used in my crease. So I'm gonna first take this dark green right here, and I'm just going to press this right up against my lower lash line. I'm only gonna go about halfway with this shade. I am like truly impressed with the pigmentation of these. I've never tried the e.l.f. eyeshadows, but I do have a good first impression based on this palette. So now I'm gonna take the dark blue and I'm gonna do the same thing, but on the inner half. And then I'm gonna take that bright blue right here and I'm going to use this to blend out the bottom of those shades. All right, so I went ahead and put on some mascara and filled in this brow. Now we're gonna go ahead and move over to this eye where I'm gonna do like the warm tones look. I really wanna dip into like the reds, orange, and yellows. So I think for this eye, I'm gonna start out with the shade Pepper right here, which is kind of like a deep, rusty type red. And I'm just going to put this on my outer corner. I'm gonna kind of do like the same thing with this eye, but with just different colors, just so they look kind of cohesive. So next I'm going to take the darker orange right here called Zuma, and I'm just going to start working my way in. And I'm going to kind of blend these two shades together. And then I'm going to pick up the shade Paloma right here, which is kind of like a deep mustard yellow. And I'm going to put this all the way in to my inner corner. Now I'm going to go in with the three top matte shades, and these are a little bit lighter, and I'm going to use these to blend out the previous shades. So I'm going to take this red right here called Casey on a little tiny blending brush, and I'm just going to lightly blend this and kind of diffuse it out. I'm also going to do the same thing with the orange right here called Millie. Just going to blend these shades right above the last ones. And I'm going to kind of drag the orange a little bit over the red, and then I'll do the same thing with the yellow. And then I'm going to take the bright yellow right here called Yosemite, and I'm just going to blend this over here towards my inner corner. And then I'll kind of blend it over the oranges as well. I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease again with some concealer. So first for the lid, I'm going to take this really pretty sparkly, kind of like orangish gold called Suki. This shade is so pretty. And I'm just going to press this right into my inner corner. These shimmery shades in this palette definitely apply better with the finger. But I'm also going to take some on my brush and use it just so we can have a precise edge where I cut my crease. Now I'm going to take this super gorgeous gold right here and I'm going to apply this to the center of my lid. This shade is just so pretty. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Strawberry right here, just so I have a nice shade to blend with my outer corner that kind of matches it. And then I'm going to go back in with that original outer corner shade and just kind of blend it on to that lid shade. Now I'm going to wipe away the powder, and honestly, these colorful matte shades really don't have much fallout at all. I didn't actually see any, I don't think. The only real fallout was from these shimmery shades. So yeah, these performed really nicely. I'm really excited about this palette so far. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the lower lash line. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did on this eye. I'm gonna first take the shade Pepper right here, and I'm gonna press this against my lower lash line, kind of connecting it to the outer corner. Now I'm gonna take the orange called Zuma, and then this mustard yellow called Paloma. So now I'm going to use the matching top shade to kind of blend out the edges once again. And I will drag over the lighter color to where the darker color is, just so everything blends nicely. All right, you guys, so here are both eyes complete. I am really impressed with this palette so far. All of these shadows had really, really good pigmentation. I'm really impressed with the matte shades in particular. They blended out really nicely, and they also didn't have a lot of fallout at all, which is always good if you do your face makeup first. This palette is a really, really nice rainbow palette, so I definitely recommend it if you're looking for an affordable rainbow palette. You get 18 shades for $20, so that is a pretty good price per shadow. I can't really decide which eye I like better. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm leaning more towards the warm eye. Last time I did 2 different color eye looks with the Wet n Wild collection, I liked the blue side better, but today I think I'm liking the more warm toned side better. I feel like it looks kind of like flames, and I really like the way that it turned out. So yeah, overall this is a really, really nice rainbow palette. Congratulations to Jkissa for this collab with E.L.F. It's such a good collection. They also have other items in this collection. There is a liquid eyeshadow, there's a brush set, there are some other things. I only picked up the eyeshadow palette, but I'll have everything else linked in my description box below if you guys want to check any of them out. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also, make sure you guys check out that giveaway that I mentioned at the beginning of today's video. I'll have it linked in my description box below. And also, before you go, make sure you click the bell next to the subscribe button so you can receive a notification every time I upload a new video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.